Good afternoon, everybody. I will call the June Planning Commission meeting to order. We'll go around the room and introduce ourselves for those watching at home, I guess, this evening. I'm Mayor Zach Bruink.
Fran Aaron, commission member.
Dave Laspa, city engineer and commission member.
I am Kelly Rosecrans, Park and Recreation representative to this commission.
Adam Tagan, Planning and Economic Development Director.
And new commissioner,
Tim Burkhauser.
Tim, thanks for joining us and welcome to the Planning Commission. All right, first item on the agenda is the approval of the report from April 7th, 2014 Planning Commission meeting.
I move.
Second. We have a motion for approval.
Yes.
And a second. Any discussion on that report? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Item 2A, manual, under maps and plats received, Emmanuel Lutheran CSM. The applicant is requesting a 4-lot CSM and dedication of public right-of-way for property located on the block bounded by Prospect Street, 11th Street North, Oak Street, and 10th Street North, which is attached. Commissioners or staff, do you want to acknowledge that one at all?
Well, I guess just for why they're doing it, there's some special assessments, I guess, going on in the area due to some street reconstruction. Basically, by doing this, they get to save some money. So that's the underlying reason for it. In addition, it just makes the lots configured in such a way that if they decide to sell off some of them in the future, they're buildable and in compliance. The street dedication requirement is on 11th Street. There's a requirement for 6 additional feet of right-of-way, which requires them to dedicate 3 feet for their side.
And now, is there not parcel out into lots at this time? Is it not?
It does exist in multiple lots, just not in this particular configuration. I believe they're reducing the number of lots.
By ordinance, as we go by, when we reconstruct 10th Street this year, we have to put in sewer and water leads into every
I
parcel. And seeing the church owns them, we got a hold of them and they reconfigured so they don't have to put as many leads in.
I see.
I think it takes out 1 lead,
Yeah,
so
might save a couple of
3 and
thousand.
4, sure.
you can kind of see the old lot numbers in the background there.
In the dedication of the public right of way,
Mhm.
is that
No, it'd be on 11th. It isn't shown on this.
It's not
one.
shown on here.
okay? It's not
But
sure.
they have provided a revised CSM after the packet went out showing the 3-foot dedication, and they have no problem doing that.
What is the lot that's empty on that between 2 and 3?
I don't know if they own that.
I guess either they don't own it, or they decided not to reconfigure it at this time. I honestly don't know.
And one of those has at least a house.
I believe they've torn down all their houses,
Oh,
but
they have.
yeah, so anything that they had that had a house on it tore down.
Would there be utilities stubbed into that though, or would there?
There should be, and then that's a separate lot that isn't included. We'll put in we'll replace the lead as we go by.
Or is the plan to go down with new sewer and water on 10th and 11th? Is that the idea?
On 10th.
On 10th, okay.
Yeah, not 11.
It's a street reconstruction, so.
Okay.
There's a 4-inch water main on there, so it's a little bit of
Oh,
more
man.
standard, so.
Probably wouldn't too. Huh?
Yeah, probably. All right, commissioners, any other questions or I'd entertain a motion?
I would make the motion.
Approve it.
A motion to approve, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion and a second to approve, any other discussion? Seeing none, we'll move into a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Okay, there are no other maps or plats received. Move on to item number 3 is a motto annexation request. The applicants are requesting an annexation of 0.78 acres on the northwest corner of Saratoga Street and 27th Street North.
For the annex?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Parcel number 0700275A from the town of Grand Rapids.
Could you sign it? Sure.
Did I hear annexation?
I think so, you must be.
Read the mottos?
Yes.
Perfect timing. Okay, so we just moved on to your agenda item, so when you're finished with that, I'll have you introduce yourselves just for the commissioners and for those watching at home, because we are recorded and broadcast live. It looks like the annexation information is here, I guess. Staff, is there any comment on this prior to the mottos?
Nothing terribly unusual. It's my understanding they are having water and sewer issues, so they wish to hook up to water and sewer. When work was done on Saratoga, those leads were put in at that time, so it makes logical sense. We have applied to the state for review of the annexation. They're given 20 days, I believe, to review it and provide their thoughts on it. So that should be received before city council takes action on it in a couple weeks. There are no negative comments from staff that I'm aware of at this time, so it's just kind of a standard thing when utilities fail and they need a hookup.
Amanda, Brandon, introduce yourselves to the commissioners.
Yes, my name is Brandon Motto, and we live at 2641 Saratoga Street. And this is my wife Amanda Motto. We just really been looking forward to getting hooked up to the city water. We've been living at the present address here for about 8 years, and the water's just really rusty, and I just would like something more for my family.
Sure. Makes sense.
Is that area not in the city at this time? Is that right? It's in the town of Grand Rapids?
Yeah, ton of-
We're in Grand Rapids, yeah,
It is
there's
in
city
Grand
lots that are around us, like across the street, there's a city garage.
So is this just this lot that you're asking for, this property?
That is correct.
Right,
That's
that's
a
the
shaded
one.
area.
Yeah.
Mhm. Any other questions or comments?
But I just got a question, only out
Sure.
of curiosity's sake. The people that live adjacent to you, do they not wanna be in, or?
I never really asked them. I really don't know.
I see, okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah, I really don't
There's no
know.
relevance at all.
And the leads are brought all the way down Saratoga, is that?
Right, we reconstructed Saratoga and 28th Street, I think in 2006. A large portion is in the town of Grand Rapids. We have to connect an interceptor sewer to bypass our lift station on, I think it was Washington Street. And as we went by, we constructed an urban cross-section and put leads into every lot, even though they were in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
There is special assessments that the city does charge upon annexation for the improvements to Saratoga.
As you say, we'll have the luxury of city water now.
We
Large
can't
sewer.
wait.
Boy.
We can't wait.
I don't
for
blame you.
that. So we pretty much take a shower in the water, but the other brush our teeth and cook with it. We don't do any of that whatsoever. So it's definitely going to be a luxury. We can't wait for this to happen.
Very good. Commissioners, any other comments?
Well,
Entertain a
the
motion?
property, this is the property of theirs?
Right, that's what they
This-
want.
no.
Nope, just the
This-
shaded
this-
area.
Just this,
Just the shaded.
just that one, okay.
Yeah, we're taking in 27th, half of 27th Street, that's dedicated right away and part of Saratoga
I see.
beyond their property. That was, state said that would be acceptable, so we included, or it was included in that.
Commissioners, what are your wishes?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
I'll second it.
Sounds like we got a motion to approve in a second. Any other discussion? Seeing none, moving to a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. All right, so pending information from the state and then full council approval then in 3 weeks, right? 3 weeks,
2 weeks.
2 weeks from tomorrow?
Yep.
The month is falling. Then they'll consider the request at that as well, so can't anticipate any sort of issue with that at that point.
Great.
All right, thank you for being here and right on the nick of time.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, moving to item number 4, the public hearing on Plan 140268, City of Wisconsin Rapids. The applicant is requesting the creation of Chapter 38 shoreland zoning within the municipal code. Shorelands are identified as the area within 1,000 feet of the ordinary high water mark of navigable lakes, ponds, or flowages, or within 300 feet of the ordinary high water mark of navigable rivers or streams. The proposed shoreland regulations govern the type of activities allowed near rivers and lakes, including setbacks from waterways, vegetation removal, and earth-moving activities. With that, I will open up the public hearing on Plan 140268. Adam?
Well, as the applicant, I feel like I should say something. Basically, what has happened is in the past, there was a very convoluted law Basically, counties have shoreline zoning, that was established after 1982, I believe it was. So if the city annexed property after 1982 that was subject to shoreline zoning, we were actually responsible to enforce the county shoreline zoning ordinance. Even though we did not adopt it, we never developed it, we had to enforce their regulations. Prior to that date, there were no shoreline zoning regulations, so they could do whatever they wanted. So it was kind of weird, and then if the county adopted a new shoreline ordinance, we then had to check what year the property was annexed and make sure we were enforcing the right regulations. So it kind of became a pain. So I believe the League of Municipalities has been lobbying to get that changed. Basically what resulted was the passing of Wisconsin Act 80 last year, which allows, which requires the city to adopt shoreline zoning. They did, although they're requiring it, they're only requiring really three main things. One is the minimum setbacks from a shoreline, or basically from a stream or a water body. Number two, the ability to reduce that setback a little bit if there's some existing structures there already. And number three, a requirement for keeping vegetation. So basically you can't clear cut the entire length of your frontage along a stream or a creek any longer. Well, actually probably couldn't even if under the county ordinance, but you can have certain sight lines. So for example, you can cut a 20-foot wide sight line from your window down to the water body, so you have that view, but you can't have the whole thing open. So the example regulations are attached. They're relatively short and sweet. Again, really it only touches on those three things. Setbacks, vegetation, keeping is really what it goes for. I mean, if you want to have the county shoreline ordinance, that in comparison is more like 30 or 40 pages, because they actually regulate what uses can be there and those type of things. The city really relies on its other zoning districts to regulate what kind of uses can be where, so we didn't feel the need to go to that level. Our city attorney has reviewed this and is in agreement with the proposed language. We have sent it to the state for their review. They don't have the ability to say, no, you can't do this, but they do require you to submit it to them. So it's kind of it's kind of weird, but so that has been done. We did have some extra public notice requirements we had to meet because it's a new zoning ordinance basically, so we have complied with those as well. So based on that, we do recommend approval of the language as proposed.
So this is etched in stone, and if somebody comes before this commission and wants to alter this, we can't alter this? This comes from the state or the DNR or the county, so the city can't.
You can apply for a variance like
Okay.
you would for a zoning ordinance, but it would be subject to DNR approval as well. So
Very good.
there are more teeth than just a typical variance.
There's no downside to doing this that I can see, is there?
It's, to me, it's actually resulting in less regulation than we currently have. So to me, that's a win, because a lot of times people complain about all the regulations they have to deal with. You're still protecting the water bodies by having a setback from them, so people aren't building right up against it. You're still maintaining vegetation for stormwater purposes and stream bank stabilization. So to me, you're meeting the purpose without getting in the way. So to me, I think it's a win-win.
Well, and it also allows for some flexibility too of existing structures and some of those other pieces too that I think would be, allow us to get around the fact that there's something hard and fast.
Yeah, the majority of our shorelines are developed within the city. I mean, we're not really annexing new shorelines all that often. An example is 1 Mile Creek. Most people don't even know it exists because half the time it's in a culvert or it's running through people's backyards already.
Yeah.
So to have that ability to reduce that setback just makes sense for how we're laid out.
It only has water in it if a water main breaks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hopefully that's not,
Well, they might have some rain or water in it this week.
yeah, really. Commissioners, any other questions, comments? Okay, then I will close the public hearing. We'll move into item number 5, action on Plan 140268, City of Wisconsin Rapids. Commissioners, what are your wishes regarding the proposed creation of Chapter 38, shoreline zoning ordinance within the municipal code?
I move to accept this.
We got a motion to approve. We have a second.
I'll second.
Yeah.
Motion and a second.
Put your name on the board here, Jim.
All right, a motion and a second. Any other discussion? covered it pretty well in the public hearing, and I agree that clarifying some things and being a little more transparent. Moving to a vote, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. None opposed. And then that passes. Next item on our agenda is item number 6 for adjournment. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move adjourned.
Motion, give it a second, all in favor? Opposed, we stand adjourned.